have a solution. The Whine No Whine Show, where you can be friended and offended all in the same hour, where we gather people from all different walks of life and perspectives, and we talk about everything that everyone has told you not to. Religion, politics, and everything under the sun. Nothing is off limits, and we do it all over a glass of wine. So grab a glass and join us as we save America, one civil conversation at a time.
3, 2, 1, action!
Live, welcome everybody to the artist edition of the Whine No Whine Show. I'm your host, Chris Minamyer, the art half of Texas Music and Art. Today we'll be talking about, should homeless housing be free? Be sure to comment live, and our production crew will be pulling the best comments, because we get just too many comments now, and put them on the screen for me to read aloud during the show. I have a great group of guest artists here today, from rappers, singer-songwriters to visual artists, photographers. Hope you guys check it out. They're going to be displaying some work here about halfway through the show. And real quick, I'm going to kind of let my guests go around and introduce themselves and do our shameless plugs of the evening. But Hunter, if you want to start, go right ahead, bud.
Sure, yeah. I'm Hunter Hogue. I had a Facebook page up for a while. It was Hunter Hogue Music, and I'm not good with technology sometimes. So I'm actually going to redo it pretty soon, just redux everything. I'm going to do an Instagram. I'm going to do a Twitter. And I'm also going to have a new Facebook page come up. It's going to be called Hunter Hogue Music. It's really, really easy.
Heck yeah. And you got something coming up for a show?
Yeah, actually, I think that on April 22nd, I'm supposed to be playing with Backdrop Violet down at White Swan, I think.
Backdrop, yeah, White Swan. Good
And
times.
Walk the Poet is going to be there. So
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Walk
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, awesome, dude, awesome. I'm excited. Hopefully I can make your show, dude.
I hope so, too.
Melissa,
All right.
introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Melissa Cantrell. I am an artist. I do a lot of acrylic art as well as shoe art. Trying to start my own custom shoe painting stuff. It is called Bohemian Souls, so it's SOLES.
That's a cool name.
And it's underscore between Bohemian and Souls. You can find me on Instagram. And we are going to have a show called the Summer Love Bash coming out June 1st. And if you just go to summerlovebash.com, you can find out all the information. I'll be displaying some of my work there.
Awesome, awesome. We're going to have some of her work here today as well. Virgil, welcome back to the show. Always good to have you. And Hunter's coming back too, so we got 2 repeats. We're always looking for artists and musicians to feature, so if you guys are looking for that, press the Book Now button on the Facebook page. But go ahead, Virgil.
Well, hi, my name is Virgil Robinson. I do photography and I paint a little bit. I'm from Houston and I like photographing Houston. You can find my artwork and my artwork at Virgil for You. If you Google Virgil for You, you'll find me. I have an Instagram page at www.instagram.com/Virgil for You. You can find me on Facebook as Virgil C. Robinson. That's my full name. And also on Facebook, Art and Photography by Virgil C. Robinson. But if you Google Virgil Robinson or Virgil for You, you will find all my art pages and a lot of my artwork and paintings.
Awesome. And we can find you where's your next show? You gonna be at Sketchins next week or next month?
Sketchins is a group of artists that get together when we're not working, so we can just hang out
and make art,
drink and draw and have fun without having to have to work.
You'll see him posted if you follow him. It's a good time. That's why I mentioned it. Very underground.
I got a show coming up in June. If something happens before then, you can find it on my web pages and on my or on my Instagram page. But there's usually something going on somewhere. Sometime.
We're everywhere in Houston.
Yes, we are.
Thanks for coming out, Virgil. And Prophet, man, tell me a little about yourself. Give you a handshake. Welcome to the show.
Honestly, on the Prophet, I don't know. I'm just.
You get a little nervous.
I get nervous.
We have 7 cameras pointed at us.
I don't know why I'm nervous. But to be honest, I don't know why I'm nervous. But to be honest,
it's like more cowbell.
I got something going on the Prophet. I have 30,000 Instagram followers.
Good for you, man. That's a good number.
Yeah, I'm moving on. I'm moving on in life. Got a rap career. actually a performance going on tonight at the BFE Rock Club.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
BFE, that's a
14.
good venue, man.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
sir.
going to be fun.
Yes, it will. Not sure if I'm actually gonna perform because last time I went, it was actually a little hostile.
No, yeah, it happens. That's BFE for you, man.
But-
you got to love the scene.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
I do understand that it's a business and we're moving on, but I do have a track that we are gonna play midway through.
How do we
this.
find you on here?
You can find me on Instagram at ProphetCo, PROPHETKO,
Right.
and SoundCloud, same thing, ProphetCo. I got over 300,000 plays over all of my tracks on there. So
I was just jamming some stuff in the, I was my head was going, you know.
For sure.
And any song y'all want me to do off top, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, man, we'd love to have you back out, you know, feature your new stuff. Goes for any artist that's out there looking to promote their work. We've been getting, up to 6,000 views per episode. We got one artist cut out, got 10,000 views on YouTube. So
Wow.
12,000. So that's a big deal on YouTube, man. It's a whole 3-minute set. So, you know,
For sure.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, so again, we're going to be talking about, well, I guess I could do my plug. My name is Chris Minamyer, right? So you can find me CM/space art. I'm an artist half of Texas Music and Art. We host shows all over Houston, starting with Tuesdays at Avant Garden Open Mic. So for all my musicians and singer-songwriters, rappers, please come out for Tuesdays, man. It's a great time right there on Westheimer and Montrose. And then, obviously, the Whine No Whine Show, Artist Edition. Thursdays, we go live at 7 every Thursday. The Friday edition goes live at 5. And be sure to tune in for that. And then I host another market, third Saturday, open at Lake Houston Art to Farm Market, and then I got a bunch of other stuff going on, so follow me on my pages.
1-year anniversary.
The 1-year anniversary just happened.
160,000 views.
We had 160,000 views on our 1-year anniversary.
Yay.
Can I get a round of applause for that?
Wow.
Come on, people.
Oh my
Thank you for
gosh.
tuning in, you guys. Like,
Wow.
I can't stress enough for you to comment live, because your comments, the best comments, will be pulled by our production team. We have too many. So we have to find those runs from all platforms. We go to 6 platforms. So we're pulling comments, putting them on the screen. We're addressing your comments. So please, please, please comment and be a part of our show, because that's, you guys make us and we make you, and everything happens like that. So again, homeless, to the homeless housing, be free. Pretty open topic. I kind of want to start with bulletin points across the board here. Just kind of tell us where you stand on it, so that the viewers can understand where you're coming from.
For sure.
It'd be like less than a minute, but I'll start on this side again, because you're just getting used to the show. So we had a little bit of time, so I'm gonna give him the rundowns the quick way. But go ahead, Hunter. Yeah.
So,
Crash course.
I think,
Crash course. That's right. Yeah.
I think that it ultimately should be free, because one way or another, our tax dollars are going to go to it. I heard a story the other day about a man who walked into a bank and robbed it for $1, and now he's in prison getting free health care and free housing and 3 square meals a day.
That's a real
So at least he's off the street and he's got the health care that he needs from a humanitarian standpoint.
thing. Robbing a bank's went a little far, but
I
I've seen him
agree.
go.
I
I've
agree
rob a
100%.
I've definitely
robbing
seen
a bank
both.
is an extreme version.
I've
But-
definitely seen him do silly things just to get the night off. You know, I don't have. It's raining. I'm gonna go to jail for the night. You know,
So I mean,
it's a warm bed.
one way or
True.
another,
That's-
my
that's
tax
true.
dollars are going to go to it.
Good
All
point.
right.
Yeah, I
Good
can
point.
give him that.
Melissa, what do you think about homeless and
well,
housing should be free? No.
I don't really consider it free. I think they should probably work for housing.
A work program involved?
Yeah, like a
Okay,
work
yeah.
program. And
Someone's got to keep up
say
the
they're-
housing, right?
Say they're
Mhm.
injured or they're a Vietnam vet, you can still find things to do to
Yep.
get money. You could be a Walmart greeter, whatever. But yeah, they should definitely work for it, because I've met a lot of aggressive homeless people, especially in Houston. Like I literally have to carry around a sign.
New Orleans is worse, man. New Orleans is way worse.
I've
than
met
Houston.
Oh, I've
Which-
been to New Orleans, but yeah,
Yes.
that and being drug tested, I think would be a good idea
I think
too.
you're right there.
So.
All right, cool.
yeah.
Virgil, you got a stance on homeless housing?
Yeah,
free? No free?
these two have a good point. You mentioned Melissa, that you think they should work for it. I
Right.
agree. You believe somehow the federal government or the government is going to end up, the taxpayers end up paying for it one way or another. I agree with both of you, but I think it should be more of a municipality type deal with private companies or organizations, not just a handout from the federal government.
Right.
That's a good point.
Some people literally cannot work.
If you've seen a show, you know that I don't like government hands in anything.
Yeah.
Is that it though?
I'm done.
Oh, cool.
For right now.
Yeah, for sure. So go ahead, Prophet.
I would say, like he said, a community thing. I'd rather everybody help together and put a little bit of money into
Like a nonprofit.
a nonprofit thing where we could like instead of the YMCA, because the YMCA is like I don't necessarily think that is
It's not a nonprofit. That's for profit.
yeah, that's definitely profit. But take away that, gut it out, and put homeless people in there. But of course, they would have to work for what they have, work to keep their spot there. They would have to make sure it's all tight, clean, and they don't. I don't like spreading negativity, so definitely not a negative thing to do.
Good for you.
Yeah, so as a host, I try to keep the fence, but I think that it is up to people like us, artists, to look into grants and how to write grants and how to get funding through either sponsorships or government funding or whatever it may be to get the foot in the door to start some type of housing for these people, so they can work, they can start to live, they can start to re-enter society. A lot of them are vets, a lot of them are so. But that's my kind of take on it. But we'll jump in right into discussion. So does anybody have a rebuttal to someone's? Because that was a whole bunch of.
Yeah, that was a lot of really good points that had come up, like the community, for example. Like I'm gonna go this way for just a second. That's a great idea. Is if we could all come together and solve a problem together and get it handled. But with that being said, there's also the negative half of the community that isn't gonna jump out and do something. Like, I'm terrible at cleaning my room. I know I should clean my room. I want to clean my room. It doesn't mean I'm going to.
I like that you brought it down to that.
We can put it in place that everybody give $5 to this shelter. Okay, but there's 15 shelters now, at least in one area. What
if you put it into a HOA?
Like a homeowner association?
Like a dues, like dues for the HOA, so you have dues for the... Right? I mean...
Okay.
It's creative.
It's
I hate HOAs. They
HOA.
already sued me once. Right? I don't even own a home because of them guys anymore. I don't like them, but it's just another thing to talk about, right?
Right. So, but with the homeowners association comes things you have to upkeep. Some people can't work in a home. Some people that are homeless, that point was brought up, they can't work due to disability or due to something.
I was going to bring that up myself.
So how are, like if you can't work, you can't eat. You know what I mean? It's kind of bringing that mentality around. Now, granted, if you have the ability to work, you should work. And you should do what you can to make your place better, to make your position a better place. Absolutely. If you're disabled and don't have the ability to do physical work, you can do some other form of work.
Agreed.
Mark readers.
Exactly.
Right.
This or there. There's different things.
I could teach you how to promote on a laptop. But
Just because we have the power and the tools doesn't mean we have the will or the drive.
Right. Okay. Well, the thing is, people, no matter what, like you said, no people are not going to have the will or the drive. Like, so what do you do with those group of people who don't? They're automatically not going to have that, and you already know that there's these certain group of people. They're gonna. So do we just kick them out to the curb?
So is that a societal standpoint, or is that because they've just been washed away? Like, you think about they had a drive at one point.
Yeah, they most likely did. They have a drive, and then.
So I mean, is that us saying, hey, look, your drive's not good enough? Is that, or you know what I'm saying? So they lost their drive, or should we have?
I think we should still help. We should still help them out. They can't be lost souls if we constantly.
They're never lost.
If we
They're
kick
just
them down.
wandering.
Yeah.
I
like
You
that.
can't keep kicking them down. But
Right.
the Salvation Army, I mean, that's a good spot for some of them to go.
Right.
I've heard good and bad things about the Salvation
Right, there's
Army.
good
Yeah.
and bad here and there.
I did see something online
Another
about,
for-profit.
which you can't believe everything online, but about the tiny house community, them building a bunch of tiny houses for the homeless. But
Mhm. I've seen them doing it
tax
out of,
dollars do those come
I s-
out of?
I
Is that
actually
ours?
I saw a guy who picked up all the I'm sorry, for trying to hold office, you put the signs out for any type of senate or
Painting?
no, just the little signs, those
Oh,
little
I see, just-
plastic signs you see.
Yeah.
It's vote for whoever, right? For whatever Congress, whatever. So this guy took those.
Right.
He took those and he took an old bicycle, and he could build a one-person sleeping shelter on wheels.
Oh, that's cool.
That's really good.
That's really cool.
And it's light. It's like under 30 pounds, and you could pull it behind a bike if you needed to.
Mhm.
And so, like, there are options. Like there are definitely options.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been looking into it quite a bit because, like, I want to open a artist compound for the homeless.
Okay.
That's a great
Okay.
idea.
Yeah. That,
Right,
That's,
and
that's
so-
About that a lot.
Yeah, I've been talking about it a lot, and actually somebody online approached me and wanted to help me write a grant for it. I'm not gonna mention any names. But she did send me a link to how to write a grant, and so just that in itself, you know, everything I do is long-term goals. So, and that should be everybody.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why it comes back to the artist thing. Like, I think that the artist is the person, the one class of, you know, working class that says we can go from the high income
Mhm.
to the low income, and we
Right.
can cross those social barriers.
Right, we can traverse them.
That's
Yeah, and we can traverse them. And the artist is
Agreed.
really one of the only professions that can do that. And so it is up to people like us that can say, hey, look, I know you love that castle you're in. Like,
I
know
want
you
it.
love it. I love it too. I need to come over and paint something for you. But honestly, there's like 200 people a mile away that don't have a home at all. So it's up to us artists. I mean, do you guys think it's up to somebody else?
No, I just want to say too, being
Well-
an artist and active in our art community like vigorously for the last 15 years, the art and the music industry in Houston and communities are very, very close and very, very tight knit. And they do pull together. I've seen people raise like $90,000 overnight for people who
Oh
need
yeah,
it.
I got a
And
buddy
we
that
do it.
in the hundreds of thousands he raises for charities around.
We're
here.
exceptional in that sense, in that case, whereas other cities don't have maybe their sources. They're just not
Right.
cohesive like we are here.
We are niched.
Houston
Yes.
is strong.
Well
Yeah.
connected.
We stick
and
together.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Houston's strong. I love
That
it.
I was gonna say that after Harvey,
Another
You can
good
see that.
example.
there
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
lot of
Oh,
like
yeah.
community
There was
that,
some
that
stuff going
actually
on
really
everywhere.
pulled together. Like I stay out in Kingwood, and man, that was I don't even want to get into that, but there was a lot of like I saw a lot of people really come out and come together over that, and I thought that was really cool. And then that pulls over to the homeless, you know, debate that we're having, is like if it shouldn't take a catastrophe, a natural disaster like that, like a trillion gallons of water being dumped on Houston, to have us come together. You know what I mean? Like, why can't we just love each other?
I see that. I see that. But at the same time, that's the good part of the disaster. I'm not
That could be true.
Yeah.
Like-
That could be true.
like there is a good and a bad thing to everything,
That could
and
be
the
true.
disaster was horrible. So don't try. I'm not downplaying it, but what I am saying is, without the disaster, we didn't know that we could come together like that. So now that we know that, like, come on,
Exactly.
let's. We need to get some people on this.
Yeah, we gotta make sure the education keeps flowing, because as long as people aren't educated and they don't know about these things, that they
You're right.
Well,
Well, that's
true.
that
Don't
is
worry.
why we have a wine show.
That's true. Here we are.
That's exactly right.
Actually, the show that we're putting on, the Summer Love Bash on June 1st, all the proceeds are going to go to helping less fortunate people get into the art and music scene. So we're going to be giving all of our profits to that.
Yay.
I will clap for that
Cheers.
for sure. Yes. And Chinkable moments.
No,
on
I'm
the
gonna
wine,
say that.
clinkable.
Hey,
Clinkable.
so you guys
That was
come
the
to
wrong
that.
term. I'm sorry, all my watchers. I was trying to read his lips.
Chinkable
Don't make me
moment.
choke.
Oh my goodness. I know. I'm sure there's one comment out there right now. Like,
Ouch.
speaking of comments,
silence.
you guys throw a couple
Sure.
up and I'll address some comments. But so, like, I wanted to address what you're saying there. And somebody told me, a good friend of mine who's a well-to-do artist, she said, in the next year or so, we're watching our economy rise. And you'll find that when people are out of work, they venture out to find a way to make money, right? So as an artist, there's, like, if you can't find a job, what can you do? You can make some art, right? Like you can sing, you can play guitar, you can make art on visual. So what you'll find is when the economy goes down, the arts come up. Is what she was saying. More people, at least, not so. Yeah, so you get a saturation of the art market, which is kind of where what you're saying is I help people get into like this pretty much the lowest way of getting into an income, right? Like an artistry. Like just saying, look, I have to work for every dollar I make as an artist, and so here it is. I got no other option.
That's better than standing on a street corner with a sign darker than I am in the middle of the summer. I see people way darker than me. In the summer. Your complexion, well, you look, anyway. But no, I mean, you know, they could be, I see them every day.
Yeah.
I was
They could be
approached by
working.
two yesterday. I live downtown. And you
We
do
live in town.
Yeah,
we have to
live
literally
downtown.
walk through them every day.
Yeah. There's a well-to-do crack spot down the street. But but I was approached by two that were, I mean, they walked. They walked to me. They could keep a sentence with me. They didn't have missing appendages. They weren't limping. They didn't have like it was just kind of one of those like, man, you look like you can work. It's hard to give you money. like I was just saying, I don't know if you have some mental disabilities that will keep you from work, but I do know that you could definitely start on government grants, and there's processes to go through for these homeless people that are already in place. And so, I mean, adding another one, you guys, I mean, do you think that we should do more education? Or you think, I'm going to read this comment real quick. Calvin Weaver, thank you for tuning in, Calvin.
Hey, Calvin.
Yes,
on,
support your
Calvin.
local venues, Houston. That's my buddy Calvin. And CNW Promotions, as well as Hofbrau SteakHouse. So he's all over. So follow him if you're not. But I think that the only ones should get housing that are homeless is our veterans, because they gave their lives
So we can have a roof over our
so
heads.
we can have a roof over our heads. I completely agree. I think that our veterans should get some type of
They
housing.
should get premier
I agree.
because they've
But
already
they should.
served. And
I mean, if you've ever been to the VA hospital, you know what that is like.
It's
oh my
sad.
gosh, that is just. I
I've
mean,
never been there.
it is not a good scene. But at the same time,
Mm.
at least they have it, right? We got to start somewhere. And Jeffrey Williams, thanks for tuning in, Jeff. So in addition, is addiction a consideration to this? Addiction, would we consider addiction a viable cause to homelessness?
I would.
or-
It could be.
So,
It could. Yeah, no. It's
yeah.
actually no, not it could be. It actually probably is one of the strongest reasons for
Being homeless.
People-
for
Yeah,
homelessness,
for people to be
absolutely,
homeless,
and
yeah.
so there needs to be a contingency plan in
Mhm.
place
Right.
for that. If you have an addiction, it is considered a disease. You
Should
should
seek help.
get help.
Should
If
If
definitely
you're
seek
going
help.
to be in the provided shelter that's free, so saying it's free, if you're going to be in that shelter, you need
Someone's paying for it. Free for
somebody's
them.
right,
Right.
free for them. If you're going to be there, you need to be in some sort of rehabilitation, and you should have weekly drug tests because they can.
I love a drug test.
It should just be.
I don't know about passing one.
Sure.
I'm just kidding.
Drug
I'm a
testing
paramedic.
for
Lord.
But it should be weekly, not daily. That's not productive. That's too much money gone. But weekly, sure, because you can get rid of it in a week.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes
true.
it's harder,
Yeah,
sometimes it's
for-
hard,
depending on what kind of drug it is.
Sure.
I mean,
As long as- well, I know
should-
exactly what it is. I give GOT drug testing, and if it's anything other than smoking it, like the green stuff, it's a 3-day process to leave your system. So if if you can't get it out in 3, man, you have a problem.
Big point.
You have a problem.
So-
Like, yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
please,
No,
I
you
don't
were
want to cut
so-
you off.
Go ahead.
That's a first on our show.
Go ahead, sir.
Oh, no, I didn't have anything.
So what I was going to say is cannabis and weed has become legal in many states. So
Ooh,
should
whole nother
those
topic.
homeless people
See,
be
and
tested
that's kind of where I was
for-
leaning with
Depends
it.
on what
for
state you're living in.
cannabis?
Right? Yeah, you
If it's
I mean,
unlawful.
Party foul in the audience. I love it.
you
didn't do that
know,
one.
I mean,
Yeah, it's all right.
you know,
did not
I
do
don't
that
know, maybe crack and heroin and stuff like that. I personally, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
People are huffing.
Don't
you
find
know,
weed to
AC,
be that
yeah,
extreme.
yeah, AC
If
units.
you
So that's an
can-
addiction. Just
An addiction is an addiction.
Yeah.
I personally don't consider marijuana smokers to be an addict in any form or fashion. I'm sorry, I don't.
Right.
Unless it controls
As
your life.
opposed to like
I mean, there's
crack
some
or
people-
heroin or something.
Some people that smoke weed, they cannot function as
I
a
know
normal
some people
human.
like that. But
I'm driving
Yeah,
a
I
45 and a
definitely know people like
65.
And some people just
If
can't get off
you
it. And they're
have-
smoking, bloods and bloods a day. Like,
If
you know.
you have money to buy it, you've got,
got
money
money.
to, even if it is a legal state.
Right.
You go to Washington, you're homeless in Washington, and you smoke 3 joints a day.
Hey,
Where's
man.
that money coming
Wait,
from?
aren't you still
You got
drug
it.
tested though? Yeah, because it's still illegal according to federal rules and regulations.
Unless you're not
Oh,
medically-
now we're on this subject. We gotta go back to the
Yeah,
homeless
back to
people,
the
guys.
homeless
Yeah,
thing,
we gotta
yeah.
go back to the homeless thing.
I wanted to inject one other thing. We were talking about Houston. We were dwelling on Houston. We are different, and we are not like
Very
many
true.
other cities.
Yeah, if you go to the homeless
I
in New
saw-
Orleans, it's a whole nother game.
I did read not long ago, and it's verified. It's not fake news. St. Louis has a program with where the city has a program with apartment owners or property owners and managers, whatever, and they take the vacant units that would be vacant, and the city gets them for a reduction. I think they subsidize it,
Right.
but these people are getting education, treatment, job
Yeah.
placement, and things they
Everything.
want.
You know
And
how
all
many
the-
vacant homes are in Houston
I
right
was
now?
gonna say, that's
oh
such
my
a
Well,
great
goodness,
plan.
just
That
homes.
There still are. Yes, there
Oh,
are.
there's,
Even
there's
after a flood.
hundreds of thousands of them. I mean,
I do believe
yours.
I'll just say our government
One in the house
here
is
is
vacant.
trying to do that. But like, different programs work in different cities. So what might work in one town won't work in another.
Right.
Completely agree with that.
I read, just one more thing I want to say. I just read an article in I like urban planning, but China is getting ready to start using huge pipes, concrete pipes, to house regular people in because to alleviate the overhousing problem.
Right.
And they can move them around, and if you have a vacant spot, you can stack like 20 or 30 different round pipes on top of each other.
Yeah,
They look really nice inside. I mean, but
I'm a
they wanna
pipeliner. I know what they look
They want
like.
to start
Yeah.
like we do containerized housing now. They want to do the
Yeah,
same thing. but
Pipeline
with
housing,
concrete
much
pipes.
faster to build, and
And they
yeah.
can move them around. That's
That's
the
a
thought.
perfect
That's a
idea.
good
plan too.
That is a good
I
plan.
love that.
Huh.
Cool.
I'm done now next.
I'm thinking. Thinking process. Actually, we are hitting the 30-minute mark. So if you want to tune your guitar, and we'll talk about some art, us two, and then we'll have one of y'all go whenever you're ready, and then we'll do some live music, and we're gonna talk about some art real quick. So who wants to go?
Go ahead,
These two.
Virgil.
What am I going to talk about?
You're gonna talk about
My
your
art?
Your art is actually gonna show
Oh,
up
that's
on
right. It's
the
going to
screen.
show up. I don't have to pull it out.
Yeah,
or
so
anything.
new thing.
I
we're-
can't
like,
see it.
It's
but,
gonna come up on the screen with
I can
us
talk
as
about
we
it
talk
anyway.
about it.
But no, like I said, I'm from Houston, fourth generation, actually fifth generation Houstonian. I'm proud of my town. It's been good to my family and me, and I like promoting our town. I call myself Houston's photographic photographer, photo ambassador. I think I
Nice.
represent our town really well. People tell me I do. I put my passion into it.
Definitely where you live, you represent it. Hell
And
yeah.
I try to cover from one side of town to the other, and I'm happy to say I think I do a good job. I do the best I can.
I call him the King of Montrose. I'm not even gonna lie.
Thank
And I
you.
introduce him like that all the time.
That's nice.
So your pictures are up. Which
Okay.
one's up?
I can't see them anymore.
Both pictures are up. Do you know
Oh.
which ones you brought? You want to explain
One
a
is
little bit
called
of
Column 1, and it was taken. It's a photograph of a column, the top of a pillar, and it was taken.
Can we get it on screen?
I know what it is.
My
It doesn't
man.
matter.
No, you're all right.
It's
There we go.
Oh.
Okay, you have one, a photograph of the downtown, what I call the Lower Skyline District. It's just like the two Chevron buildings, the Wedge International Building, and
Chevron.
and 1600 Milam. And the other one is the column, and that column was taken in Herman Park. It used to be one of the columns.
Yeah, me too.
It used to be one of the columns to Miller Outdoor Theater before it was raised, and they built the new auditorium in the 1960s. But that column was one of the originals that was part of the original Miller Outdoor Theater.
Beautiful
It was built in the 1930s.
He's got a lot. And
My
you do
work is
commissions?
diverse.
Yeah.
Yes, I do commissions, and I love to do architectural photography.
You got a building?
My least
This is
favorite
the man
one
talks.
is head photos, but I do headshots. I do good ones. I can make you look good. I promise.
I'm gonna need
Can
some
you make
help
me
over
look
here.
I need
good?
I need a lot of help.
I can
Can
make
you get rid of
everybody
these
look
dark
good.
circles in my eyes?
I need to look way better, to be honest.
Can you pack out about 10 pounds of muscle? You know, shave about a little bit. Like
There's
I
like a
need
few
some-
clicks
I
for
need
all
a
this.
Photoshop
Awesome.
a six-pack. Wait, I don't
Where do
need
we
a
find you
six-pack.
again, Virgil? Virgil for you on Instagram?
Virgil for you
For you on Instagram.
on Instagram. I'm sorry, Virgil. I'm sorry. www.instagram.com/Virgil41234. You as an uncle.
The number, not the letter.
Yeah,
spell
Virgil for you.
Just
I
the
have
letter.
a Flickr site. I have Instagram. I have a lot of sites. It's hard, but if you
Follow him on one, you'll find
if
him on
you
the rest.
Google me on one, you will find me on the rest because they're all listed. And if you find me on Facebook, they're all listed on there. Just look for Virgil C for Carl Robinson, and you will find me.
Hey, Virgil.
Melissa?
Hey, I'm Melissa.
I'm going to post some photos of her work
I
real
just
quick on the
moved here
screen.
a year ago.
Show me your necklace too.
Oh yeah, this is an awesome necklace. It's an octopus necklace made out of a fork.
I love
My
it.
friend Brett
Recycled
Farley
art.
did this.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love it. Anyways, I am into mostly acrylic art. I had a bad experience with some watercolor.
I think that was me. I brought her out with some watercolors.
But anyways, mostly my thing right now is shoes. I can do pretty much anything on shoes. You got a favorite movie character, musician, whatever.
Fan art.
I
Everybody
can
loves
put
fan
it
art.
on a shoe
Pop
for
art.
you. It's called Bohemian_Souls. It's at Instagram. So Bohemian_Souls as in shoes, not your soul.
So what's the next thing I'm buying?
I don't know, but I've done some Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas shoes. Some Flogging Molly shoes. I actually wore my Flogging Molly shoes to the Flogging Molly concert. I took a paint pen and I met two of the Flogging Molly members.
Yeah, if
and
you're
so
going
they
to
signed up.
concerts and
So
you
that
want to
was
meet
really cool.
somebody, that wear them on your shoes.
But I'm very diverse in my art. I really like surrealism, but I like doing a lot of people as far as painting them.
So the commission work is there?
Yes, very much commission work.
Her art is phenomenal. for
I
sure.
have one that's a
Is it on the screen?
steampunk chick. She's Victorian. Her gears are always grinding. It's like me. Are you steampunk?
I like it a lot. Yeah.
I was
can
like,
tell
you
that
look
about
so
steampunk.
steampunk
Yeah.
right now.
Your necklace kind of reminds me of that. Yeah.
It is.
In a way.
So I have the Victorian lady. She's steampunk. I'm waiting for the picture to come up.
Yeah.
There's a delay.
Yeah, there you go.
There's my shoes.
Yeah,
So I have
some
my Fear and
shoes.
Loathing in
Y'all
Las
saw it
Vegas.
already.
My Flogging Molly. This is how you find me, Bohemian Souls. And I also have one that's called Earthbound.
There you go.
That's my
Some-
Victorian chick with her grinding
Alright,
gears.
yeah. There's a little delay on our screen. Not bad.
It's
Yeah,
the
we're working on
wine.
it. We always blame the wine.
The
delay
is
the
wine.
Oh, that's really funny.
If at first you don't succeed, blame the winos, right?
Thank you for commenting and tuning in. I saw some loves on that one. All right, but Hunter, unless we need to find you. Actually. Where do we find you?
We find me at Bohemian_Souls SOLES at Instagram.
Awesome. And
Thank
Hunter, you're up, dude. You want to
Cool.
play something for us?
Yeah, I'll play
Original?
a song real fast. Yeah, it's an original. It's one that I wrote after I talked to a couple of nice guys.
Nice guy.
Yeah,
I like
like you know
how you
how
put
like
nice
you
guys.
always like, because I actually have a theory about nice guys. We
Can
can
they
talk
finish
about
in
that
last,
later.
or-
Well, no, actually, nice guys are actually not nice guys because they have ulterior motives and they're tricking women. Yeah, no, it's actually really terrible if you break it down. Anyway, it's about having a Superman complex. So it's thinking you can save the world.
Can you find this online?
Actually, no, not yet.
Not yet, because it's going to be on YouTube, like, later today. Like, I just got to tell you that, so you can find it later. It's on YouTube now, but it's going to be cut and remixed and mastered, and it's going to be a great watch. So make sure you come back and check out our artist cuts of all of our musicians that come on, because we have 3-minute shorts, and it's a lot of fun. But go ahead.
Cool, alright, let's go over just a hair so I can sit my guitar. I hung up my cape because she told me it's not worth the time that it might take to save her. But she doesn't know that I do it to make her proud of the things that I might be. Now she's broken hearted that I hate myself enough to save everybody else. It ripped her apart when I told her I'm not worth all that I am and want to be. Now she's been drinking and I've been thinking that we've not been sleeping. Oh no. Now she's broken hearted that I hate myself enough to save everybody else. Now she's broken hearted that I hate myself enough to save everybody else.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right on, man.
Appreciate it.
So you can find us on YouTube, The Whine No Whine Show. You'll see his cut and you'll see our show. Please tune in next week.
I like that.
Thanks, man. Glad you dug it.
Promise. You're up next, bro. Like as soon as our music cues from the producers, just give them a moment.
Give us a long delay.
Talk about it. Tell me how to find it. Tell me what it's about, what the song is.
SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify. You can find it on all the biggest platforms. For it's called TROP, The Resurrection of the Prophet. That's my EP. But the song that we're about to play is Watch Me. It's the best one. This one's the one that actually popped. It has 108,000 plays.
It's about to be on your radio. Is what that means. Like, God, this is first scene stuff here at the Whine No Whine Show.
It's my first. Like it just actually came out like a month ago. I know. It's new. So
That's new, man. I love it. That's what we want to hear here. But for sure. Yeah. So all right, man. Whenever he cues it up, you ready? Producer. I can talk about me real quick. I always can. I'm just kidding.
Well, I always talk about myself.
Yeah, man. Promote it, bro. Yeah, put it up.
You're putting it on somebody else. Like you kept on bringing him up. I don't know why you're bringing him up. I'm just.
Yeah, he's a producer. He's
making it
music
go.
up.
Yeah. He doesn't have the music up ready. So
I'm just waiting on his cue. He's ready.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Bitch, I ball out with the gang. Sipping the drink off of pain. Just to the lick on Roseanne. Fucking this bitch on my name. Dripping it all in the panties. Licking it off of my daddy. Just roll a blunt, it's a fatty. Beating that ass like a patty. Wondering if I I'm so central. Killing this beat up, fuck up the instrumental. Murder the process and take your momentum. Your homies retreating like niggas who sense it. Pick up the bag, make sure that every sense it. Money stay calling, pop in the credentials. Pop it, beat it, top it, seed it, drop it, eat it, stop it, skeet it. Watch me pop it, beat it, top it, seed it, drop it, eat it, stop it, skeet it. Watch me, 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 watch me. I'ma eat your pizza and I paint you Mona Lisa. I'ma need another visa since I left my at the pizza. Your main bitch, her name Elisa, and she act just like a diva. She say I look like a cheetah, and I told her she my zebra. Then she told me she a Libra, and it gon' taste just like pina. Woke up to tequila, then I walked out have amnesia. Then I walked out have amnesia. Then I walked out have amnesia. I have amnesia. Walked out have amnesia. Bitch, I ball out with the gang. Sipping and drink off of pain. Just to the lick and Roseanne. Fucking this bitch in my name. Dripping it all in the panties. Licking it off of my daddy. Just roll a blunt, it's a fatty. Beating that ass like a patty. Wondering if I jump in, will I cut through? Maybe if I lift her up, will I run through? Came in her mouth, oh my god, I'm so central. Killing this beat up, fuck up the instrumental. Murder the process and take your momentum. Your homies retreating like nigga who sense it. Pick up the bag, make sure that every sense it. Money stay calling, pop in the credentials.
Sorry, I'm a performer. I just like.
Oh man, you did great, man.
Sorry, my bad. You know, but yeah, there's a little something after this. This is actually produced by homeboy Shaheem. He's actually a very good producer.
How we find Shaheem? He local Houston guy?
No, he's not. He's over here on YouTube, Shaheem Music. He actually doesn't. He's not that big. But you can find him on YouTube at Shaheem Music Productions.
Will be.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, will be. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. You can find that on SoundCloud. You can find that on Instagram.
You can find it on Facebook.
Prophet Co.
Prophet Co. PROPHETKO on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all social media platforms except, well, actually all of them. I'm about to pop up.
Bitch, I ball out with the gang. Sipping and drink off of pain. Just to the lick and Roseanne. Fucking this bitch on my name. Dripping it all in her panties. Licking it off of my daddy. Just roll a blunt, it's a fatty. Beating that ass like a patty. Wondering if I jump in, will I cut through? Maybe if I lift her up, will I run through? Came in her mouth, oh my god, I'm so central. Killing this beat up, fuck up the instrumental. Murder the process and take your momentum. Your homies retreating like nigga who sense it. Pick up the bag, make sure that every sense it. Money stay calling, pop in the credentials.
You like it?
Sorry, Mom.
Man, so traditionally our show is PG-13.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, yeah, I love it.
Hey, what
I
was it?
absolutely love it. My producer's eyes got about this big. I love it. No,
Hey, man.
Hey, look, you up again? You,
Oh,
Oh,
no,
the next
no,
song.
no, I was gonna say,
oh, yeah. So I painted an F-bomb for when we drop an F-bomb. Right?
Okay, cool.
So, like, you just have to hold that the rest of the show. That's awesome. That's awesome. Man. I appreciate that, Joe. That's perfect.
Okay.
That's creative.
I apologize, I ain't know.
No, yeah, you're good.
You're like in
I was
Facebook.
all about it.
Yeah,
Actually, I'm a big hip hop. I love hip hop. I love most rap, man. Especially local stuff. Like I rep a couple through Texas Music and I rep a couple artists. So cannot stress how awesome. I love your song.
Thank you. It's good.
So I'm gonna pull you up on that SoundCloud and I'm gonna be in my truck.
Be skating behind me.
Yeah, for sure,
jamming
for
out.
sure. Man. I'm gonna check the rest of your stuff out, and Hunter's gonna have a SoundCloud eventually.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
should be getting a
I should get on
SoundCloud.
that.
Hey,
I've got-
actually, like for real, you need to really get on the SoundCloud. You like, you do have an Instagram, right? Because I honestly
Nope,
don't think
I need to make
you
one.
need to make it.
I'm
bad at
You
tech.
need to make Instagram. You need to get into this like the digital age, like. For
Oh,
real,
it's the
for real.
information age. If you're not
Push-
digital, man,
push
you're not
it.
nothing anymore.
Push every like, and then
That's why
the
we have
thing
a
is,
web shop.
if you have if you do want to put something on SoundCloud, make sure it's the most
And copyrighted.
copyrighted.
Talk to my
and
buddy
the
Harley
most,
about all that.
like studio quality. You gotta make
Yeah.
sure it's studio quality because I mean,
If you
it's
wanna
already
jam in your
compressed.
cell phone,
It's already
sure,
compressed.
Yeah, right.
Like he says, it's make sure you
Sound good in here.
Sounds
though.
good.
Yeah,
It did.
sound
Yeah,
good.
it sounds
in
great.
here. Yeah, you sound real good.
Yes.
That was your producer. Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was
Good job,
Yeah, he threw. Yeah, he
That was
threw.
WM.
No, yeah, he
That
threw
was
the
WM.
producer out. Yeah,
I knew that.
yeah,
I
for
knew
sure.
that one right there.
That's why I was talking about, Altered States production. It's our production team behind the scenes, as well as Joe Orsak, the leader of the Whine No Whine show. I'll do my quick, because we did like a 15-minute of art, which everybody loves that stuff, but can't. But look, if you guys see this one behind me, this is commission work for the Whine No Whine show. It's about spilled wine and spilled milk. You can't cry, right? So if you can't whine over spilled wine, you can't whine on our show. So that's what it was about for me. If you have some type of idea or something you want to talk about in your business, your home, or whatever, that's what I do. It's CM Space Art. But Texas Music and Arts, where you can find all the music and fun of all my other artists I represent. And then, of course, gotta give love to the producer of the whole Whine No Whine series, which will end up being a network of shows, because we are just starting out. And we're gonna get back into the subject. So, homeless, free housing. We've already talked about how they should have to work. They should be drug tested. What I want to know is, so you have a homeless person who is amputated both legs in a wheelchair. How do we house them for free? I mean, you guys, everybody wanted to talk about, hey, you gotta work. Hey, you gotta do this. Hey, you gotta do that. Some people cannot do that. So even if they're a greeter at Walmart, they may have some PTSD problem that says, I can't be around a bunch of people.
This is true.
Sure.
You know, and so like, no legs, PTSD. What do we do with those people that just can't do that? But maybe they can make a little bit of art in there.
How do you take care of someone with provisions that are already available if they don't want the help? What if they're in that
Good point.
wheelchair and they have an arm missing, maybe they can't hear and they have eyes out,
Right,
a veteran.
yeah. Right.
And they want to live on the street. Because
Some people do.
Some people do.
Some people
I
like that
know
life.
they do
Yeah.
because I see them. I talk
Right.
to them. I've tried to give them things.
My
And
brother's a huge help for the
Oh,
homeless.
you got one. Free house.
Oh, yeah, we got some comments. Thanks, Virgil. He's like dipping out of that. All right, so Justin Anderson, thank you for tuning in. Free housing for vets and homeless families first. Of course, I'm totally about that. Also, if you are in a free house or home, you should be subject to drug testing and monthly random wellness checks.
Agreed.
I completely agree with that as well. Now, all that takes money and time and effort and people. So my thing is how do we get it started? What do we do to get it started? Like, give me a 5-minute. Like, what do you think? What should the first step be to get homeless into some housing?
Okay.
Because I want comments on this. This is really what I'm driving for. Because if people are watching this, I need you guys to comment because I want to be able to go to the guy down the street who sells me all the stolen stuff from around my house. Honestly, he's like, hey, you want to buy this? I'm like, that's my luggage. Like, but seriously, what's the first step? What do you think the first step is?
All right, so I think that there's going to have to be multiple locations because there's hundreds of homeless people. And
Educational
Thousands.
locations.
Thousands.
Sure, yeah,
Thousands.
thousands.
Hundreds
of
The
thousands.
official figure is
Hundreds of
66,000.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Just
yeah.
in Houston.
I think it's double that.
It's a lot.
I believe that.
So there needs to be multiple locations, and all these locations should. I don't know where the money
Should they be mobile?
No, I don't think they should be mobile because while homelessness is mobile,
I
you
think
still
it should
have
be
people set in areas.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You're
Accessibility.
Right. It needs to.
Well, they have their corner.
Sure.
Well,
Yeah.
people want to live where
But
they
if
want
it's
to live.
located in one singular area, you're going to have people flock to that area. Hey, I'm from 3 streets over. I know it's here. Or, hey, I'm 30 minutes walking distance. I know it's right here. You know what I mean?
But
if it's mobile, you're going to lose somebody that just fell into
I think
this.
if it's mobile, it will be less of a hindrance on everything around it. To be honest, if you say, okay, look, we're gonna pile all the homeless people next to this house. So like someone's gonna be like, look, no.
Absolutely.
So look, we move them out, have them clean it up, the next spot, and if you don't want to be, in that environment, sorry, like you said, you can't help people who don't want help.
Sure.
But you had brought up the point that, and I kind of tend to agree with Justin here. Justin Anderson says addiction is a choice. They can choose to stop and choose to get help. Period.
That's my personal belief. However,
It's an inherited thing. Your mom. I'm not putting down anybody's mother, but what if you were born into a family of addicts?
Right.
I agree with you, but those
that's
are
all you know.
Right.
One at a time. The producer's yelling at me. I'm just kidding. I understand where you're coming from. If you do get born into that environment, there are so many options for youth. So what I'm kind of concentrating on is the adults. It's people that are already on the street, the people that are choosing to be out there. It's people that don't know there's other options. So for you, it says put up multiple locations of housing.
Yeah, like almost like an apartment
locations.
Complex that would be.
So the ones that are vacant already.
Yes.
Sure, yeah. Use the ones that are currently vacant or have been abandoned. Exactly. I thought that was a really good point.
They're empty.
Sure, yeah, exactly. Use it for a productive purpose other than to fill a spot.
The taxpayers are paying for that.
Exactly.
But
some people don't want that next door to them.
No.
I like inner city living, and I like living where I do. My mother can't figure out why I like that.
Yeah, it's like my kind of thing is like my dad is like all against inner city living. Like he doesn't want nothing to do with it. So if you want to move, excuse me, give me my F-bomb. If you want to move out, get out. Like there's suburbs you can afford. I lived in one. I know.
People who don't want to live.
Oops.
How do we integrate that into living spaces where it's equal or like on a level field for everyone to make everyone happy?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I wouldn't mind personally if I live where I do. I live in a really nice neighborhood, but when I walk outside my gate, I see everything.
I'm the same way. I live in 4th Ward. I mean, I live right there in 4th Ward, and I pass homeless people. I pass people squatting in houses. I pass that stuff every day on my way to the bar. Or the grocery store. I walk everywhere I go. Except for the work, because you got to drive in Houston. But I love where you're going with it, and kind of where you're going with it. So I'm trying to pull it together between everybody. So I want to hear your opinion. And what's the first step to get this rolling? What do you think we should do to get homeless help?
I don't know. That's really hard to say because there's a fine line between people that want to get help and people that don't want to help.
Well, you gotta forget about people who don't want the help.
Because I know
if you don't want the help,
like,
they can't help you.
I can make more money, standing on the street corner holding a sign than I could working a job at McDonald's.
That's true.
It is true.
Yeah, I've seen videos of people leaving in Mercedes after
I am more inclined to give a couple dollars. To give a couple dollars to people that are at least creative with their signs.
Right, like I'm definitely gonna buy weed with this sign.
This guy a couple weeks ago was like, "Hey, trying to take a hot babe to McDonald's. Please donate a few dollars." I was like,
"Hey, yeah,
hey, that's
they got you.
They got me.
So hungry doesn't work for you."
No.
Just having fun with you.
Hungry does work.
Denise, I'm gonna butcher that last name. Stasco. Denise, thank you for tuning in. Mental illness is a cause for people to be homeless that are not able to have the treatment available that is needed. I completely agree with you. My good family member, I'm gonna put it like that, not to put any names out there, but he is disabled, so cannot work due to it's
PTSD.
It's not PTSD. It's schizophrenia and a couple other things, but. I love this person very much so, and luckily my family can support him, but the problem with that is, I mean, who would if, where would he go if my family couldn't? Because, I mean, my dad worked really hard, we didn't start from, money, my dad worked from nothing to make what he's at, and so, because of my dad, my brother can live, but that's it. So I'm all about starting something, and I want to hear your first. Like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What do you think we should do? What's the first step? If you're watching us right now, what are you gonna tell somebody how to go save some homeless people? How to help this community?
my first step would be talk to them. Like first, you actually have to motivate them, but we have to actually like
go talk to a homeless
talk
person.
to a homeless person. Motivate.
Like
No, don't
human.
talk. Talk to them like if you
Don't go out there trying to give them money.
No.
Right, yeah.
No, go out there to learn what they're going through.
And then you could tell them, hey, go to a library. They have a whole lot of books.
The African American Library is
usually-
2 blocks from my house.
Yes.
It is a
Yeah.
huge epicenter for knowledge.
Yeah, you can.
A mecca of learning.
A mecca of learning.
Yes.
I do believe libraries are they have free memberships, and then you could obviously.
You can almost stay a whole
good
day in a
point. You stay a
library.
whole-
And you could go into the look online, see what, like you said, apply for grants. You could do all these extra things that people don't understand already. Like
Right.
it's laid out but
There is program after program after grant to help these people.
But some of
All
them
there
don't
is
know
is
that.
One out of
don't
every
know
4
that.
people cannot
That's-
read beyond a 3rd grade
Yeah.
level.
I agree.
This is true.
I worked in the oil field and I worked in southern Louisiana, and I did have some people that weren't able to read. And
It's
so
hard to
safety
believe.
meeting is really hard to have them sign something when their signature is an X.
Oh.
So look, I've been a paramedic for 12 years. I've gone to homeless person after homeless person after homeless person after homeless person. I have brought them to the shelters. I have brought them to the psych wards. I have brought them to the hospitals. I have done everything you can to help a homeless person in a county aspect. We even have Tri-County, which is built for mental disability like schizophrenia or whatever it may be. Addiction is in that realm. And what I have to say, and I'm trying to bring it all together, which I love that you brought up, go talk to them. Because the first step is to understand what's they're going through.
Yeah.
Honestly, first step. Second step, right? People like us who can afford to take 10 hours out of their week, that's an hour and a half a night-ish, an hour and a half, not a whole lot of time. Research something. I know you've got skill. I know you got networks. Everybody here's got a network, right? So everybody that I network with is all about helping somebody.
Been there, done that.
Right.
We
And
do.
Yes, and that's what it's about. So we already have our networks. Start by 1 hour a day researching after you see what the locals like. Go out there, go talk to them. I talk to this guy all the time. He always comes up to me. He goes, "What do you got for me today, bro? What do you got for me today? Was he stealing your stuff off your porch?"
You protected my porch.
Well, that's
Did
why
you-
that's
did
why
you
I
make
buy
your
stuff
pay to
off him.
protect
No,
me?
that's why I buy stuff off him, because then he knows not
You'll
to steal
protect-
off my
okay.
porch. Because
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
go, "Look, dude, that's my stuff. Give it back." But he sees me, and so like my point is, and I just want to push this is, it is us. We are the first step, and
Very good point.
if you
It
want
starts
to help, it starts with you, and then your network, and then you find me in your network, and I help. And before you know it, you're going to have 10 people in 10 networks ready to put together a grant program, and there's somebody that's going to want to help on one side or another. Just like Texas Music and Art started. Texas Music and Art, 2 guys, artist and musician. I mean, now we are all over Houston, and it took a year. As a team, we are all over Houston. So, what I want to do, I want to stress the point, get out there, get into your communities, and start a network, and start something like Artist Home Shelters. 'Cause that's what I'm going to do next. Hell
Very
yes,
good.
like, I can't stress it enough, guys. And before we leave out, we got 1 minute left. I can't thank you enough for tuning in. Sorry I didn't get to too many comments today, but we'll get into some more comments, and I'm going to reply to all those eventually. Jeff says, "Hunter, I loved it. I want to hear more. Keep it on YouTube, and let's go with the technology."
song,
Yes.
Nice.
This is coming out, Hunter, Prophet,
Thanks,
Virgil,
Calvin.
Melissa. Big
Thank you,
chinkable
guys.
moment for everybody here.
Ching.
Clinkable moment. I said it again.
Oh
my
God.
God. Oh my
Cheers.
God. Cheers.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you, Dorian.
Dorian, thank you for
That's
tuning in. This is awesome. Jeff,
Dorian! Hi,
dopeness.
Dorian!
Yes,
I'm
dopeness
friend of
says
mine.
Jeff. I appreciate all the love. Cannot tell you enough. And
Yay.
thank you again for tuning in to the Whine No Whine Show. Tune in tomorrow at 5 p.m. for the original edition over a year out.
Mhm.